All right guys, let's look at another back escape, this time dealing with the overhook side. Sometimes maybe you land in the overhook side. Typically we don't want to go to the overhook side because it's a little bit harder to escape. It requires a little bit more strength, but we can still make it work. It still is effective. We just have to bide our time a little bit better. So let's look at how that works. Paul has my back. All right, as we spoke about before, we have an underhook side and an overhook side, depending on how he configures his seatbelt. As usual, we get our thumb in and our forefingers in, defending the choke. So this time, okay, for whatever reason, we've fallen to the overhook side. Okay, if this happens, all right, what we don't want to do, okay, is let go of our hands, okay, and try to like put our back to the floor. He has a choke. This is like the choking side. This used to be considered like the better side, but it's actually worse for attacking, but it's a little bit harder to escape. It's weird how it works. Underhook side is actually better for attacking and better for escapes because we're able to more easily like disconnect ourselves, okay, but the arm keeps us in. So what we're going to do here, we're going to keep these grips, but we're actually going to swap, okay, to both thumbs inside. This is called a baseball grip. And now the hard part here is kind of like breaking this grip. If someone's quite strong, it can be difficult to break this grip and push, so if you let go, push the arm away and come underneath here. So in the live situation, when someone's quite strong and they have this grip, what we need to do is just still, go from here to double thumbs in, okay, have our baseball grip. And ideally we want to get our back to the floor, but it's quite hard when they're squeezing this. So pretty much what we want to do is we want to start looking at him, okay? We want to try and get our back to the floor, which can be difficult, but we want to start looking at him. Once we look at him, okay, and we make a little bit of space, we're holding this the whole time so we can pull away and make space. Once we look at him and have a little bit of space, we're going to shoot our left arm all the way to the floor and try and capture his head. All right, and now from here, we're going to aggressively spin into his guard. Okay, so we use like our legs and we do a scissor motion. So we're here and we use our leg for momentum and we're going to throw our right leg over the top so it looks like this. And we can spin on top and typically we'll end up in closed guard. One more time. Paul has us here. We fall, we keep safe. Okay, we have our grips. We fall to the overhook side. Okay, Paul has his hooks in. I get my baseball back grip, 2 thumbs inside as opposed to just fingers. All right, and I start pushing it away and I start trying to turn and start looking at him. Once I feel like I can see him and there's a bit of room, I'm pushing away and I pull away. Let's say if you're staying really tight, I have to do this explosively. I have to, in one motion, pull away and look at him. So like his head is tight to my head. He's trying to make sure I can't get this in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to push away, shoot my head back, and really quickly pull my arm between us. So it's like this. From here, I can grab his head and I aggressively do a spin using my legs for momentum. So I lift, scissor, come up on top, and I'll typically end up in closed guard. So this is how we like to escape the overhook side if someone puts us there. As I said before, we want to land on the underhook side. It's better for escaping because it's easier for us to disconnect our head, our back from his chest and get our back to the floor. This is still quite effective and this is the best way to do it if you do end up on the overhook side. But if we have a choice, let's go to the underhook side, get our back to the floor, get our elbow to the floor, and work that way.